Hello and welcome to this latest edition of the News in English on Rwanda Television. My name is Serge Nhore. We'll begin with the headlines. The Rwanda Utilities Regulatory Authority has adopted measures to deal with the strain of the large numbers of people who travel from Kigali into the provinces during the holiday season. Analysts of public procurement here in Rwanda have highlighted persistent corruption loopholes, calling for intensified efforts to address them. And on the international scene, Elon Musk, the billionaire ally of US President-elect Donald Trump, has praised the Alternative for Germany party ahead of the election due in that country early next year. Now the details. On regular days, 260,000 people travel to and from Kigali daily, but during the festive season, at the end and the beginning of the year, the number increases to 400,000 per day, according to the Rwanda Utilities Regulatory Authority. This surge in travelers is the basis for measures designed to facilitate the thousands leaving Kigali to celebrate Christmas and the New Year with their families in the provinces. The surge in travelers during the festive season is an issue of significant focus for relevant authorities here in Rwanda, a country recognized globally for not taking security lightly, which is why RURA is saying that certain challenges observed in previous years cannot be ignored. Those who have experienced the inconvenience of overcrowded transport during the holidays often have suggestions for security and transport authorities. And to address the problem of congestion during the festive season, the authorities have designated 3 main departure points. Travelers heading south will board buses at the Pele Stadium in Nyamirambo. Those going to the north will use the Nyabugogo International Bus Terminal, and passengers heading east will board at Kabuga. This arrangement will be implemented 2 days before Christmas and New Year. While solving transport challenges mainly requires sufficient buses and accommodating the growing number of travelers, RURA believes that increasing designated boarding points and monitoring operations can significantly alleviate the problem. However, resolving the issue entirely may also depend on the behavior and attitudes of the passengers themselves. Analysts of public procurement here in Rwanda highlight persistent corruption loopholes, warning that unless the government intensifies efforts to address them, the country will continue to incur losses that hinder the implementation of development projects beneficial to citizens. Across the country, citizens often lament the rapid deterioration of infrastructure projects that cost the government significant funds. A recent study by Transparency International Rwanda, based on the Auditor General's report for the fiscal year of 2022-2023, revealed that loopholes in public procurement led to losses exceeding 900 million Rwandan francs. Some bidders for public tenders claim that these losses are primarily caused by the officials responsible for awarding contracts. One bidder who requested to remain anonymous stated that corrupt practices within public procurement processes undermine fairness and efficiency. In 2020, the Rwanda Public Procurement Authority launched a digital platform called Umucho e-Procurement, aimed at educating and enabling bidders to participate in public tenders using technology to reduce malpractices in the process. However, certain loopholes have persisted within the platform. Agencies under the Ministry of Infrastructure, one of the largest recipients of government funds, have been among the key entities blamed for these inefficiencies, with efforts now underway to reduce such losses. Despite these initiatives, gaps remain in holding those responsible for misconduct accountable, and President Paul Kagame has called on judicial authorities to ensure individuals attempting to embezzle public resources meant for citizens are prosecuted. Common causes for inefficiencies include poor project planning, corruption by procurement officers at district and institutional levels, and poorly executed projects that require costly revisions and repairs. Now on to other matters. Rwandan Polytechnic students who took part in the manufacturing of the first FIA Level 2 affordable cross-car produced in Africa have expressed their pride in having chosen to study things that would deliver results in line with Africa's demands. We have the details with William Evans Mutabazi.
This cross-car, which was unveiled on the 13th of this month by President Paul Kagame, together with the FI President, Mohammed bin Sulayem, is an effort and hard work of 5 Rwandan students and their instructors, together with an expert from FIA. This team shared with us the experience and what the journey of bringing this project to life looked like.
Byatangiye dufite ubwoba uko yari experience tutazi.
The project began with fear because we did not have any experience with it, but with time, we managed to pull it off. The cross-car is made of different parts, and we worked as a team from different expertise to bring the cross-car that you saw.
Ariko dukorera ahantu hatandukanye byose tuza kubihuza bibyara ikintu nka kiriya mwabonye.
Zimwe mu nshingano nari mfite hari harimo na sudire nubwo yenda atari byo.
One of my roles was welding, and I worked as a design assistant to our chief engineer, an expert from FIA. Some of the car parts needed to be welded together. For example, the bond, which is the part that connects to the car tires to facilitate its turning operations.
Kugira ngo ikate cyabaga gifasha ku mapine y'imodoka.
These students say that after their product was unveiled by President Paul Kagame and the FIA President Mohamed bin Sulayem, they feel motivated to even do better.
Kwisanga muri projet yo gukora
Finding myself in a car manufacturing project, first of its kind in Africa, encouraged me to perfect better my skills so we can achieve more as Rwandans.
Kuba guverinoma yarazanye gahunda y'ubumenyingiro.
The fact that our government supports vocational skills training, which in the past was looked at as a field for those who failed in school, but now vocational education is delivering good results. As a country, we've demonstrated that we are able, not only in sciences and other fields, but also in vocational training, meaning we can take on any other project from now. Sibomana Malk, who was a student instructor, says there's a lot he learned as an instructor from the FIA expert Paul Pujol Varela. We learned a lot of things from the FIA expert. For example, working in a timely manner and having a mindset that there is nothing beyond reach if we focused on achieving our desired outcomes. Alice Ikunzwe, Deputy Principal in charge of academics, encouraged these students to be more ambitious in creating homemade solutions, especially for the automotive industry. There are things we encourage them to do about the automotive industry, but also encourage them to start their own projects to bring solutions to some of the challenges the automotive industry is facing, thereby creating more job opportunities. 3 intensive weeks of teamwork and skills is the time it took these 5 students and other 13 individuals, including instructors and supervisors, to complete the first FIA Level 2 affordable cross-car produced in Africa. William Evans, Mutabazi, RwandaTV News.
Clementine Ishimwe, a Rwandan technology innovator, has put on the market a security software app that helps parents to monitor their children even while away from home. William Evans, Mutabazi continues.
The security software app, according to Shimwe, is a solution that helps parents monitor their children while they are at work or not with them, but also school heads to monitor how instructors relate with school children.
Niyo mpamvu solution yaje kugira ngo byibuze dufate wa mubare munini wa.
Our solution is to help parents follow up on their children while home or far from home. In the end, parents are able to guide their children through the right and desired ways.
Bimwe twabifuzagamo ari byo bavamo koko.
Some of the schools that have adopted this technology testified that this technology is a good solution, especially in safeguarding children while at school.
Urugero, hari umwana wigeze kujya kuri toilette atamo urukweto.
For instance, a child went to the washrooms and dropped their shoes in. If I had this software, I would be able to follow up keenly on how this happened. This is a major reason I chose to install this technology in Nightstar Academy so that our students' security and their safety is prioritized and they can go on with classes without any problems.
Natwe impamvu turyifuza kuzishyira mu ngo zacu.
The reason we wish to have this technology in our homes is, in the past, house helps would torture children without parents ever knowing. But now, with this technology, you can know everything that happened in your home while away at your convenience.
Cyose cyabereye iwawe iyo utashye cyangwa uri no ku kazi ubasha kukimenya.
While meeting with experts in science and technology, the Right Honorable Edouard Ngirente commitment science and innovation development as a crucial driver for promoting social welfare.
As the government of Rwanda, we recognize the significance of science, technology, and innovation in all sectors, on all fields. as crucial drivers for promoting social welfare and sustainable development in the country. Aligned with our Vision 2050, science is expected to play a key role in Rwanda's journey toward becoming an upper middle-income country by 2035 and a high-income country by 2050, ensuring high standards of living for all Rwandans. Rwanda aims at building a knowledge-based economy, and to achieve this goal, we have strategically invested in the entire education system at all levels, from primary education, secondary education, to higher learning institutions. Our goal is to keep developing our human capital by providing comprehensive trainings in different fields of science.
Rwanda has a target of having 1 million tech innovators by 2029 and more than 2,500 people with advanced knowledge in technology, science, and innovation. William Evans, Mutabazi, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, William. Now, there are still people who confuse mental illness with other issues, claiming they cannot be treated in hospitals. However, mental health experts emphasize that mental illnesses can be treated and cured if patients receive proper care and support. Mental health professionals explain that individuals suffering from mental illnesses often exhibit unusual behavior, perceive things others do not, or may even run away in fear. These symptoms are often misunderstood by the community, with some attributing them to witchcraft. This misconception about mental illnesses contributes to delayed treatment for patients, leading to prolonged suffering, and untreated mental illnesses can result in chronic conditions, making recovery even more challenging. Kares Butare Psychiatric Hospital in the southern province receives between 70 and 100 patients daily, including those seeking outpatient care. About 90% of these patients recover and return to their normal lives, while 10% continue to take medication for a certain period. A 2018 study by the Ministry of Health revealed that at least 1 in 5 people suffer from a mental health condition. However, the number of people seeking mental health services remains very low at just 5%. Experts argue that over 80% of mental illnesses could be prevented or effectively treated if the Rwandan community paid attention to mental health issues and ensured patients received timely care and support. Now, on Sunday, 86 children supported by the Delis and Derek Karuse Foundation, an organization founded by 2 children to support disadvantaged kids, celebrated Christmas with their parents. The children expressed their gratitude for being able to study in a conducive environment which allows them to excel academically. The foundation supports children who are orphaned or being raised by single parents. The parents and guardians of these children appreciate the assistance, stating that it has enabled the children to focus on their studies without worrying about school fees or other materials. Some beneficiaries of the foundation have even progressed to university. So far, the Delis and Derek Karuse Foundation has invested over 8 million Rwandan francs to cover school fees and supplies for the children. Additionally, the foundation has employed the parents of these children through the produce export company Trophy Rwanda, helping them improve their livelihoods. The employees of the company were also recognized and awarded certificates for their contributions to supporting the children's education. The celebration was marked by joy, feasting, and traditional dances, creating a vibrant and cheerful atmosphere. Now, on Saturday evening, the Kwetu Film Institute awarded certificates to 5 students who completed a 3-month course in various film-related disciplines. The courses included production, directing, script writing, and other essential subjects that the students say equipped them with valuable knowledge to contribute to the growth of Rwanda's film industry.
I think they will help me to get more experience, because what I got here is just some basics or confidence. So what I have to gain and the outside, I have to gain more experience and even doing things in the way that they should be done, because here at Kwetu we're just learning, making some small things, so I want to do bigger things from now on.
What I learned from here, script writing and editing. and producing. So those things, I think they're gonna help me when I reach in future. So I know that I'm going to gain much and more experience in them. I want to become a filmmaker. As now I am standing here, we have produced one movie which introduced us as a filmmaker. So I think that is the first step for us. I'm going to be on international level, going outside, making movies, and even in Rwanda. Yeah.
As part of the second phase of the government's National Strategy for Transformation, Rwanda aims to create at least 250,000 jobs annually. Drawing examples from Kwetu Film Institute graduates who have since created various employment opportunities for themselves, Eric Kabera, the founder and director of the institute, emphasized that the training they offer aligns with the government's development goals under NST2.
So we train mainly young men and women on techniques of making films, from writing, producing, directing, script writing, editing, and we give them the basic skills so that they can actually be very competitive on the marketplace. And what we do, we just don't give them the so-called academic knowledge, we give them the practical knowledge so that actually they learn as they're doing. And once they manage to get that, so we can actually integrate them among the people we can work with. Because we believe in cooperation, we believe in blending people in the workforce quickly, as much as we can. But of course it takes so much time for people to gain experience of making films, understanding films, and creating films. So it is in this perspective that we hope, with the framework we have and with the number of students we have created over the years, we've been doing this for the past 20 years. So we have many young filmmakers who have come out through our institutions, and Kwetu collaborates with the Ministry of Youth and Culture. We collaborate with RDB within the framework of Film Office. So we consult with them, and we try as much as possible to create that linkage so that people can understand the power of film, because once we make film travels. You know, my films are watched in South Africa, in Kenya, in London, and other places, so many other filmmakers. So we want that to be literally the tool of advocacy, representing the country in a new narrative, and film has that power, and that's really our role, our small role we're playing within the country. It's really something that I appreciate to see that most of them have become patrons in their own rights. They've become filmmakers, directors, editors. They've somehow competed with me, and which is a good thing. And I believe I'm no longer going into people's offices and telling them, you know, we're doing a festival, we're doing a school. So people actually come to us. They know exactly what we do because they see it being transformed in the society and within the marketplace. So in a sense, I would say that the very few graduates who come out of here, they have become really the true ambassadors of the Institute. Not only our Institute, but all the film activities that have taken place. So now there are many TV shows, there are many programs that are being properly recorded. Even here at this space, we have a TV show called Queen and the Clients, and some of our graduates have actually become participants, actors, cameramen, gaffers, and things like that. And we work with them as our colleague.
In the over 20 years since its establishment, the Kwetu Film Institute has trained more than 1,500 students in various aspects of cinema. The institute has also produced numerous films that have helped promote Rwanda internationally and won various awards. Notable films produced include 100 Days, Keepers of Memory, Intore, Iseta, and The Woman in Me, a film highlighting gender equality, complementarity, and the value of women here in Rwanda. Back, and now international news. Let us begin in South Africa, where Johannesburg's informal waste recyclers got an upgrade recently. A collaboration turned a sprawling camp into an award-winning, data-driven, solar-powered sorting and baling hub. VOA with more.
Peter Boy is one of 8 resident waste reclaimers at the Urban Surfer Recycling and Solar Baling Hub in Johannesburg, South Africa, collecting and selling recyclable waste for an income.
I come recycling because my job was finished. It's better to do something, not to go and steal somewhere.
Before the hub went live in April, the reclaimers lived and sorted at an informal open-air camp near the Hollard Insurance headquarters. The socially and sustainably conscious insurer contracted Urban Surfer, an informal recycling consultancy, to formalize and manage the camp as a pilot project with the permission of the reclaimers and other neighbors.
Some supplying water to the reclaimers, some supplying seeds to plant. Now, with it being completely enclosed, with them having sleeping quarters and the relevant equipment, it actually contributes really nicely into the neighborhood.
Residents also have access to Wi-Fi and solar power, and they've even started a garden. The camp doubles as a sorting, processing and storage facility. The reclaimers are issued trolleys and personal protective equipment. Urban Surfer assists with training and collects data on the little-studied world of informal waste reclaimers. Since the project's start, the reclaimers baled and sold more than 70 tons of recyclable litter for combined earnings of about $12,500, almost tripling their individual average incomes.
I can send my family money, I can phone them, I can buy me clothes, I can buy me food. I can go home with that little money I have.
The guys are more presentable, so they are collecting in areas with large volumes of waste like shopping centers, business parks, offices. And now they're not only just collecting and selling, but they are collecting and baling their waste.
Reclaiming and selling waste to survive is common amongst the extremely poor and marginalized, especially in the developing world. Research shows South Africa's estimated 200,000 informal recyclers divert most of the recyclables from the country's nearly full landfill sites, saving municipalities millions annually. Informal waste management systems researcher Trevor van Wyk says the initiative assists in destigmatizing waste work.
They are essential to maintaining our infrastructure in South Africa, and seeing them as important will help to reduce the stigma that is attached to them, because they are seen as people who intrude and encroach in our neighborhoods.
Holico, a non-profit legally mandated to increase recycling on behalf of plastic producers, is the project's other main sponsor. In the meantime, more lucrative waste management service contracts for the Urban Surfer waste professionals and plans for more hubs could come soon. Marisa de Klerk, VOA News, Johannesburg, South Africa.
Elon Musk, the billionaire ally of US President-elect Donald Trump, has praised the far-right Alternative for Germany party ahead of the election due in that country next year. The party wants to end Western support for Ukraine in its war against Russia's invaders. VOA once more.
The Alternative for Germany party, or AfD, is polling in second place ahead of the country's February 23rd election. The party wants to leave the European Union and end support for Ukraine. Federal investigators have labelled it as a suspected extreme right organisation, which the AfD rejects. In his latest intervention into European politics Friday, Elon Musk, the American tech billionaire and ally of US President-elect Donald Trump, posted on X that only the AfD can save Germany. AfD leader Alice Weidel offered this response.
Dear Elon, thank you so much for your note. The Alternative for Germany, the AfD, is indeed the one and only alternative for our country. Our last option, if you ask me.
Musk's intervention comes days after he met British lawmaker Nigel Farage to discuss bankrolling his populist Reform Party. Several German lawmakers criticised the billionaire's support for the AfD. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said Friday that voicing opinions was part of democracy.
Freedom of speech also applies to multi-billionaires. But freedom of speech also means that you can say things that aren't right and don't contain good political advice.
Mainstream parties have ruled out entering any coalition with the AfD, but the far-right party has changed the discourse on Ukraine, says analyst Mattia Neles.
In the sense that the main parties are less willing or less able to speak out in favor of more aid for Ukraine, given that they are campaigning against it.
Germany has given Ukraine about $11 billion worth of weapons since Russia's 2022 invasion. Economic pressures have put government spending at the forefront of the election campaigns. Chancellor Scholz's Social Democrats want to raise limits on government borrowing, in part to finance aid for Ukraine. The Christian Democrats under Friedrich Merz, who are well ahead in the polls, oppose more government borrowing.
I will not focus our country's economic policy on new debt, high taxes, and a lot of redistribution.
There are fears in Europe that President-elect Trump will end US support for Kyiv.
Given Trump's return to the White House, much more German leadership and much more German finances will be required. And without debt financing, I'm afraid that won't be possible.
Trump also has repeatedly demanded that NATO allies spend more on defence. With government finances under pressure, analysts say Germany's next leader will face daunting challenges at home and abroad. Henry Ridgewell, VOA News.
Before let's once again take a look at the headlines. The Rwanda Utilities Regulatory Authority has adopted measures to deal with the strain of the large numbers of people who travel from Kigali into the provinces during the holiday season. Analysts of public procurement in Rwanda have highlighted persistent corruption loopholes, calling for intensified efforts to address them. And as we just saw, Elon Musk, the billionaire ally of US President-elect Donald Trump, has praised the Alternative for Germany party ahead of the election due in that country next year. I hope you have a great week ahead of you, and I hope to see you soon again. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye.